This might look hard, but the 90-degree hold, also known as the bent arm planche, can actually be done by any beginner. You just have to be training the right exercises and progressions with the right programming. And I've already made a video on that to unlock your 90-degree hold. But if you've watched this video and you still can't hold a 90, it's because you're missing these specific form cues and tips I'm gonna be showing you today. Sometimes it's the tiniest adjustments that make the biggest difference between unlocking a skill or struggling for years. But if you listen carefully and follow along today, these tips will instantly unlock your 90-degree hold and improve it, so you can progress to the harder skills that come after the 90-degree instead of wasting years just trying to figure it out like so many people do when they're already strong enough. Let's get started. Now, this one is the most common, but it's absolutely necessary to be the first form cue we cover, because if you don't understand this, you will never hold a 90-degree. And that is to make sure that you have distance between your shoulder and your hand. To be able to physically hold the 90-degree, your hands have to be holding by your waistline, or this hold would not be physically possible no matter how strong you are. This move is just as much balancing as it is strength. And if you've ever tried to balance anything, if it's not at the perfect balance point, it will never stay. And the same thing goes for your body. So the next time you're going for your 90-degree hold, make sure that it's not like this, with no distance between your hand and your shoulder. You want to lean as far as you can, and then you're ready. The best way to get into this move, first start off from a pike position. This is gonna shorten where you've placed your hands and your feet, so that as you lean forward into the push-up position, your hands will already be a lot closer to your waistline. Once you've lowered yourself into a straight line, then you can begin to bend your arms just a little bit as you lean forward, while being as straight as you can, completely lengthed out. And once you're finally at that halfway balance point, then you can begin to raise your legs by your heels and bring your head down slightly by your forehead while leaning forward to raise into that 90-degree hold. If you're trying to raise too early, it's gonna make it a lot harder and you're never gonna get this right. Now, there's a lot more form cues to perfect this and get it even better, so that you're gonna lock it right now. Which actually leads us to the second form cue, which I've broken up into 2 tips. First up, make sure that you lengthen your body as long as you can and you don't shorten your body. For example, by hinging at the hips. This is like a natural thing that most beginners or people that are just trying to figure out how to do this exercise will initially do. Because technically, the shorter you are, the easier it is to maintain the hold, while the longer you are, the heavier it's gonna feel. But at the end of the day, this is not a real 90-degree. This is not what you wanna do, especially if you wanna progress into the harder skills that come after the 90-degree, like the 90-degree handstand push-up and full planche push-ups. Now, part 2 to this tip is you wanna maintain protraction in your 90-degree hold. This will prevent you from sinking when you're holding your 90. Especially when you're first starting off just getting into the position. You don't want to already be in a sinking position like this. It's gonna be way harder and you're gonna have a really low 90-degree. You wanna already be protracted from your shoulders, depress them and protract them. Come lean forward. From here, you can raise and maintain that protraction. Now, you wanna make sure that you're protracting correctly, depressing the scapulas and then protracting them forward, and you're not over protracting by squeezing and crunching your abs. This is another way that people can compensate and shorten their bodies to make it easier. Doing this is shortening your upper body from your abdominals, not allowing your body to be completely locked in a straight line and ruining your form and engagement, which is again needed to be comfortable in the 90s so you can move on to the harder skills. So instead, focus on squeezing your glutes at the same time as maintaining protraction to allow your lower body to lift in a straight line. To do this properly, first lean as far as you can with protraction, as I mentioned before, and as you approach the middle of your counterbalance, you can begin to squeeze the glutes and straighten the legs by pointing your toes while raising by your heels. Also, another super good tip, when you're grabbing the bars, try to screw your grip in. So you can have like an over grip, squeeze hard, and then screw it down in. You're gonna have a way better grip. So let's start, protract, come down forward. Once you're right here, we can lean, squeeze the glutes, put the head down as you point the toes and lift by the heels. All right, form cue number 3. This one is super important to master the 90. Make sure that your body doesn't go too low. Specifically, that your elbows don't pass your back, your lats, or anything. You actually want to be nice and high, just like this. So the goal should be to at least hover right above the 90-degree angle, or at least your elbows underneath your body. This is something you definitely don't want to do. If you start off low, you're gonna have a low hold, and that's not gonna work out for you. You wanna enter nice and high, and you're gonna be able to do a lot from there. Now, this is a very common mistake because when you're first starting to do this, you're gonna be lazy or you're just gonna break form and you're gonna get hold at the bottom. And you may think that that's good enough to maintain the hold. And this form, although it's still achievable to hold the 90-degree, it's something you wanna stay away from because it will stop you from progressing. So to fix this, instead of thinking of a 90-degree hold, a 90-degree angle with your arms, think of a bent arm planche. For those of you that have even attempted to try to go into a planche, when you go for the first time, no matter what, even if you try to keep your arms straight, your arms are just gonna automatically bend. So you can go into the same way in a 90-degree, envisioning and imagining that you're going into a full planche, just not using perfect form. And that actually gives you the perfect form of a 90-degree hold also known as the bent arm planche. All right, now we're down to the final form cue. This is gonna tie everything together. Once you start using this and all the other previous tips, the 90-degree hold is gonna be extremely easy. So easy, in fact, you'll be ready for the next moves, 90-degree handstand push-ups, full planche, and so much more. Check out the videos I made on those. But for now, we're gonna master this 90-degree with the last form cue, and that's gonna emphasize on our lower body. For all of you that have a lot of trouble lifting up your lower body into that 90-degree hold, this is the exercise that's gonna unlock it for you, make it insanely easy. So we're gonna put a cushion right here because this ledge is kind of hard, and we're basically gonna do reverse leg raises, just like this. I'll hold on, lift my legs up. Now you can hold, you can do reps, and you can do leg flutters. And you can even use all of them all at the same time to increase the time under tension and endurance to continue to build this move. But this right here is exactly the same as holding your body in the 90-degree hold, using the same muscle groups, and it's stimulating literally the same position. So do this for reps with leg raises, hold your legs out to increase your endurance. And once you feel like you can't hold anymore, you can continue on with leg flutters to continue past the point of fatigue and really push yourself and get stronger at this. I promise, once these feel easy, lifting your legs and raising into the 90-degree hold is gonna be a piece of cake. Now this is scalable as well. So when you're first starting off, you can put the hinge of your hips right on the ledge. And as you get stronger, you're gonna be able to push your body further and further away until you're at your belly button or even further. This is gonna add more resistance and force your body even more to rely on your abdominals, your glutes, your lower back, and your legs as well. And there you have it. That's all the form cues to mastering and unlocking your 90-degree hold. If you follow these, I promise you the 90-degree is gonna be so easy. You're gonna be ready for the planche push-ups, 90-degree handstand push-ups, and so much more. And for a legitimate day-by-day program to unlock your 90-degree hold, as well as all those other skills in order, just download the Thenx app in the App Store or Google Play Store. We've been doing this for over a decade, transforming people from all around the world. Millions of Thenx athletes on the Thenx app right now, getting the best shape of their lives. If you want to change your life as well and start training calisthenics, unlock skills, and get in the best shape of your life, just download the Thenx app in the App Store or Google Play Store for free right now. You'll also find a full complete technique guide just for this move, the 90-degree hold. And if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, definitely smash that like button. I really appreciate it, and it helps YouTube share our videos to more people out there. And I love giving you guys these type of videos where I can give you really deeply detailed tips for specific exercises. So if there's another skill or exercise or anything you want me to do this on next, leave a comment down below. And I'll see you next week with a brand new video. I post every single Monday, 10 a.m. USA Eastern Time. If you haven't subscribed already, hit it right now. Subscribing to this channel is gonna get you in the best shape of your life simply by watching our newest video every week. So I'll see you next week with a brand new video. In the meantime, check out this other video. It's gonna have you in the best shape of your life, and I'll see you there. Mad love. Peace out, baby.